Okay, it's the 26th of March. We've got just under 30 minutes to the NY Open. Let's get to the charts. Okay, let's start with the calendar. There's no news today. There is no, sorry, just give me. Yeah, there is no news today. It's Wednesday, yeah? Yeah, Wednesday. No news today. Okay, so tomorrow we have some news, but not important news. And then on Friday also some news, but none of these are important. It's the last week of the month, right? So we might have, we're having low volume this week. Okay, so what did the daily do? So let's go up a time frame to the weekly. The weekly candle has created a bottom wick, right? We spoke about this, in fact, last Friday. We said if there is a big wick to be filled, if if on Friday if price pushes down, there'll be a big wick on the weekly candle that could be filled the next week, right? Which is this week. So we've already created the weekly candle wick. We could be pushing up to fill that wick and heading back to 3050. That's one possibility, right? On the weekly, that's in fact the only possibility that I see, at least on the weekly. I see that prices come down, grab liquidity close to 3000, which it did, I think 2 days ago, and it's trying to push back up, right? So as we go down time frames, we can have more candles, so we have more information. Let's go to the daily. We've created daily support. Price has come on Friday, it came and tapped 3000, in fact, and it came very close here again, and we formed daily support, but we closed below 3023 yesterday. But we've formed daily support on a high time frame uptrend, right? So pay attention to this. On a high time frame uptrend, we've formed, so which means when I say high time frame, when I look at the daily and say high time frame, I mean the weekly, okay? So on a weekly uptrend or a high time frame uptrend, we've formed daily support now, right? So that's interesting to note that price now can fill this daily wick and continue to push higher. Is that going to happen today or tomorrow on Friday? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see, right? But that's one scenario. The second scenario is if the daily candle pushes down and close below 3023 yet again, then we could be pushing back down to 3000, right? That's also possible, but the price pushing up is a more likely scenario to happen, right? Because we formed daily support on a high time frame uptrend. Let's go to our trading chart. Okay, so there I did take a trade yesterday because volume seems to be coming in around NYSE open and just after, or the trade setup seems to be forming just after with NYSE open or just after, just as it did on Monday. It did the same thing yesterday. So unfortunately, wasn't streaming at the time, but I said if you are trying to take buys, wait for price to break this high, come down, create 30-minute support, and take buys. That didn't happen, right? And I said if you're trying to take sells, wait for price to push up, create 30-minute resistance and a tradable 30-minute candle to close for price to push back down. And if you are taking sells, you need to be taking sells higher up, not close to, not just above 3023, right? So this candle closed, we price broke through this. There was a liquidity candle that I had marked here yesterday from the left. I think this candle right here, price went right through that, went to the next liquidity candle, formed 30-minute resistance, and that's a tradable 30-minute candle because that's a clear rejection. That's a liquidity grab, right? Whenever there you see a big wick like this, that's a 70 pip wick, you see that's a liquidity grab. So that's a perfect tradable candle. So waited for the candle to close, then go down. So this candle opened at 1730, Go down to the 15-minute time frame. 1730 is here. This is where the candle closed. I draw my fib from the low to the high because that is the highest high and the current low. And then price didn't come all the way inside here. I would have liked to get a deeper entry. It didn't, but I got in somewhere here, right? And I took partial TPs at around 80 pips because we had 3023, and I left the rest, I think, somewhere down here when price came to touch the EMAs. So yeah, that was about 110 pips something, about 80 and 110 pips. So that was the sell trade. And it worked as per the idea that I shared yesterday. 30-minute resistance did form from a liquidity candle and price did drop. So let's get rid of all of these and start with our analysis. It's very ugly here because we've been ranging, right? We've had low volume, like I said at the beginning of this week, and I said last week, this is the last week of the month. So there's low volume, right? Let's see how far this weekly candle in fact moves. So far, uh, it's half the week and we moved about 300 pips. Okay, we moved 300 pips on a weekly candle and we are at the halfway mark of the week. There are daily candles that do 350, 400 pips, but we've now traded about 2.5 days and the weekly candle is only 300 pips, right? So that tells you that there is low volume this week because it's the last week of the month. Okay, let's get rid of this liquidity candle. This price has come deep into it. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so we still have this supply here, right? So now we'll have to go down to the we'll have to go down to the 1 hour time frame because we have a rally here and we have a drop, but we have a wick. We don't see a base, so we'll have to go down to the 1 hour. Yeah, now we have a base here. We have a rally, a base, and a drop. We'll have to go further. We'll have to probably go to the 30-minute time frame to find that base. Yeah, that's the base there, right there. There we go. Rally, base, drop, right? Perfect. On the 30-minute time frame, now it's very clear. So that's the zone there. We're going to take this zone up so it doesn't overlap. 594. Six. Okay. When price is ranging like this, you have to go down to the lower time frames to draw the zones. There is yeah, no other way to do it. Okay. Let's take a look at a closer look at this area. Yeah, we have a zone there. Prices come in here. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and extend these zones to the right because price hasn't come there yet. These zones are old zones from last week. If you want to see how they were drawn, you can watch the 30 minutes of any of the old streams, last week's streams, and it'll be clear. I'm going to extend this liquidity candle as well, as since we're here. This zone, you can see how narrow that is, how many times it's been tapped, right? We're going to talk about this. But I just want to say now that it's very likely price is going to go right through this and come here. Very likely. Look at the amount of times it's been tapped. If you look at the 1 hour time frame, you'll see the number of times very clearly. But it's also obvious on the 4 hour time frame. Okay, so we have 4-hour supply, new 4-hour supply here because it's visible on the 4-hour. Let's look at demand. We still have this rally-based rally. Yeah, we're gonna have to look at this on the 1-hour again because it's ugly. We're gonna have to look at it on the 1-hour. Yeah, here we have a base, a drop-based rally that's reacting to, no, not to that. Let's go down the 30-minute time frame again. Yeah, that's better. $603. Yeah. Okay. Let's see where this is reacting to. It's reacting to this. Yeah. This wick here, this doji. What I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this here, right? That's better. Take that entire candle because that's a doji. So which means on the 1-hour you have a candle going up and a candle coming down, or you have a few candles going up and a few candles coming down. That's why on the 4-hour you have a doji. So if you look at the 1-hour, you'll see candles stacked next to each other. So we would have to consider this the base. That's better. Now it's much better. So rally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base in candles and the leg out, right? So this is the source. This is a reaction. This is another reaction to it. Two reactions. This is the source of demand. On the 1-hour time frame, it's a lot more clearer. You see the base. You do see it on the 4-hour as well, but on the 4-hour you see a doji, right? And when you see a doji, what it means is prices moved up and then prices come back and close. You have an open and price has gone up, right? It's gone to a certain high and then it's gone down and made a certain low and it's come back and closed very close to the open price, right? But on the 1-hour, you can see exactly what happened on that 4-hour time frame, why that 4-hour candle was a doji, right? So you see the base very clearly. So the open is 408. Yeah, did I put that in? 408. Okay. Now we can bring this low is 319. This low is 319. Okay, better. Perfect. Right. So this is 1-hour demand, right? It's visible on the 1-hour. You can see the base, but we narrowed it down to on the 30-minute. So that's H1 demand. That's 4-hour supply. And this is 4-hour demand, just as we had marked yesterday. I'm going to extend these to yeah, that should be good enough. In terms of downside, I don't think we are coming down today. I think we're pushing up, but we have to trade what we see, not what we think. Okay, so this zone is not going to hold. Okay, that's all that's left in it. So I'm not going to bother even putting a label there because it's going to break. Okay, now we have two new zones. We have a zone here, right? A 4-hour zone, supply zone above current price, where current price is right now, and we have a 1-hour demand zone below. So we're going to check and see if these zones are high liquidity zones, right? So did this take out something to the left? There is demand here. Yeah, it eventually did. If you look at the 30-minute time frame, I think it's clearer. The price did come. This low is 418. This low is 426. Yeah, we did come down. Take this out. Yeah, the price has come deep into it. So I'm going to label it a high liquidity zone, right? Label it a high liquidity zone because it did eventually, it was very slow yesterday, but price did take out this low here eventually. Came down and took out the low. So we're going to name that a high liquidity zone. And let's take a look at this one. Did it take out the supply? Yes, very clear. So this move up took out this supply. That's a high liquidity zone too. Okay. Right, that's it. Let's just save this. Now what price is in supply, we're going to take a look at this area and see if there's a high liquidity candle in here, right? So let's start at the 1-hour. On the 1-hour, obviously it's this wick. It was the 30-minute candle, so we're going to mark that wick. That's a liquidity wick. Whenever you see a huge wick like this, you got to pay attention to it. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, it's that big wick. It's a 70 pip wick. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame. If we make it this candle, let's look at the 5-minute time frame. 37 pips, 48 pips, 42 pips. $48. It's going to go with that candle right there, right? 380895. It's 41. That's 48. 37. Yeah, that's good enough. And we already have a reaction. Okay. Right. So we got one high liquidity candle there. It's a part of that wick. Great. We've got a demand zone here. Going to take a look at this and see. In fact, I'm going to extend it a little high. I'm going to bring it up here, the demand zone, to this 766. Yeah, that's better because we have a tap here. Yeah. Okay. So on the 1-hour, there is nothing. On the 30-minute, this is the only candle that's there. The 15-minute, there is nothing. Let's go to the 5-minute. There's nothing. No. It's this 30-minute candle right here. No, not really. It's this candle. Yeah, it's this one. It's this one. It's a little outside the zone. That's okay. 947550. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's a liquidity candle. Okay. We've got one here. We've got one here. If price breaks this high, we're pushing up all the way here. Another 80, 90 pips up. Once you break this 5-minute liquidity, 15-minute. Is it on the 15-minute? Yeah, it's on the 15-minute. That's fine. But it's visible on the 5-minute. So basically, once we break this 15-minute candle high, we're going to push up. Let's extend. Let's bring that down to the 15-minute. That's better. 741. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah. So we've come deep. So this is the liquidity candle. It's a 64 pip candle. We've come 45 pips. So we've come deep into it. We've grabbed the liquidity in that zone. So the next time we pull back and come back up, we're going to break right through it. And once we break this high, we're heading here, 80, 90 pips more, right? That's the purpose of drawing this, so that we have a roadmap. We have an idea of where price is likely to head to, right? Once it breaks a certain area, um, we know where it's heading. As I said, price is never random. It's never random, right? Just because sometimes we don't understand what price is doing, that doesn't mean um, there's no reason for it. Okay. Okay. Right. Uh, I'll be back in a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to leave this here on the 1 hour time frame. So for those of you who want to, okay. I'll be back in 2 minutes, and then we're going to take a look at what price has done during the Asian session and the London session, so that we have kind of an idea what price could possibly do during the first 2 hours of the um, NY Open. All right. Be back in 2 minutes. Okay, let's go to the 50-minute time frame. That's the market open. Wow, here. This is the market open. The market opened at 3019.5. Okay, roughly 3019.5 is the market open. And yesterday, it's important to understand this. Yesterday we were hovering. There was no volume. Yesterday and day before um, there wasn't much volume. I wouldn't say there was no volume. There wasn't much volume. So price was ranging around 3023. It's been doing that for the last couple of days, right? So it's undecisive. So that's why you can see with the market open as well, there is no clear move up or down. Just pushed up and ranged, right? We went above, came back below, going back above, coming back below. We're still hovering around 3023. Okay, so the market open here. This would be 4. Yeah, it's pretty obvious today. 1636. There's the Asian high, 717. Okay. London high, 197. It's with the London low, 319. Okay. So, right. In the Asian session, we moved 108 pips, roughly 100 pips. And in the London session, we moved almost double that, 187 pips. So it's basically 100, roughly about 100 pips in the Asian session and about nearly 200 pips in the London session, right? Now, let's see what price has done. We opened here, we ranged. Price is undecisive since last 2 days, so it doesn't kind of know what to do. So we come down here, we create the Asian low, pushed past above 3023, go up, create the Asian high, come very close to the liquidity candle but doesn't touch it, push below, close below, come straight down to the Asian low, close below it, come down, create the London low, closed back above the Asian low, pushed straight to 3023, rejected once, closed above with the next candle, continued to the London high, right? So once we formed the London low and we closed above the Asian low, we're heading back to 3023 and the London high. Now we touched the liquidity candle, we rejected, closed back, came deep in to the liquidity candle, right? We crossed the 50% mark here and we formed 30-minute resistance, clear 30-minute resistance and a tradable candle. It's a nice candle to take a trade off, right? 130 pip drop, perfect candle to take a trade from. But there was no pullback on the next candle, unfortunately. That's been happening often last few days. So we came here and we pushed past, came back to 3023, closed below it, came down, grab liquidity from the liquidity candle. The EMAs have crossed now. It crossed sometime yesterday, right? We crossed sometime yesterday. So the fast EMA is above the slow moving average, exponential moving average. So we came tap. So now there is kind of bullish, there's a bullish trend right now because we're creating higher highs and higher lows, right? See, we broke the high, that's a higher high. We came down, created, we didn't break this low, so it's a higher low. And the EMAs have crossed, so the fast is above, so it's an sort of an uptrend, right? And we've come here, all right? We come back to the liquidity candle. Now, this is the London high. Let's look at this. We've created resistance already. That's not a tradable candle, but we've created resistance. That's a doji, but we created resistance, right? I don't want to take sells. Even though we prices at a liquidity candle, I don't want to take sells, and I'll explain why. This candle has been tapped deep. Prices come deep in, pushed down. It's come for a second time, right? We've come deep in. The EMAs have crossed, and price is creating high highs and high lows right now, right? Structure is changing towards the up, being an uptrend market, okay? So price is pushing up. So if we get sells here, the sells will be short-lived. They might just come down here because remember now price is bullish, is starting to be bullish. So we want to look for those buys. So where can price grab liquidity to push up? There are many areas. There is this. We're going to mark this. Sorry, we're going to mark this area. Price crossed a weekly SR level. I always say this: when price crosses a weekly SR level, you have to go down to the lower time frames. So on the 1 hour, you can't see a zone there. You got to go around 30 minutes, and there is a zone. They got to mark that zone out. You have to mark that zone. Close 318, 099. 318, 099. Okay. Let's call that 30-minute demand. M30 demand. Okay. Because that's very important. Price has crossed. Whenever it crosses a weekly SR level or a BRN, a psychological round number, you have to go to the lower time frame because there's very likely a zone there. Sometimes there isn't, but you have to go to the lower time frame and check. Okay, so that's what I did right now. So that's not a high liquidity zone, but it's got this weekly SR level running right through it. Okay, that's important. And we have a liquidity candle there, 31 pip. We're going to mark that as well. This on the 5-minute time frame. There's nothing on the 1 hour. There's nothing on the 30-minute. There's nothing on the 15-minute. It's just big doji, bullish doji candle. But on the 5-minute, there's a big candle there, right? So 416099. 416099. Okay, that's better. Okay, so now if let's go back to what we were discussing. We've got to wait for the 15-minute candle to close, right? It's very likely going to come probably close bearish below this. Now, to what we were discussing. I don't want to take sells. Let me repeat. Why? Price structure has changed. We're creating higher highs and higher lows. Price is above the EMAs and the EMAs have crossed, right? That's 3 reasons already. Reason number 4, price has come into a liquidity candle, right? Previously come deep in and grab that liquidity and push down 150 pips, right? If it comes back here for a third time, it's already come here a third time. So here's second time, that's 1, 2. If it comes back a third time, we're very likely going to break this, right? It's done it. This is the source. This is a reaction, and this is a reaction. So if it comes down and comes back a third time, this liquidity candle is very likely going to break. Price is going to break above it. And if you remember what I said at the beginning, once we break this high, we're heading another 80, 90 pips above, probably another 100 pips above this higher. Okay. So I don't want to take. So that's the 4th reason why I don't want to take buys. 5th reason, I'm sorry, that's the 4th reason why I don't want to take sells. 5th reason why I don't want to take sells is because there is a liquidity candle right here. So even if I do get sells here, that's just a 30 pip drop. That's not worth it, right? I'm looking. I need to see 80, 90, 100 pip move, a possibility of a 80, 90, 100 pip plus move, right? So that's for those 5 reasons. I'm not willing to take sells. I'm going to be waiting for buys, right? So we're going to patiently wait. And what do we want to see? What do we want to see to take buys? We want to see 30-minute support created. Very simple. Price comes down, reacts to one of these liquidity areas, either to a liquidity candle, either to a big round number or a psychological round number, or a weekly SR level, or the EMAs, right? So what do we have here? We have a liquidity candle. That's 1. We have a weekly SR level 2. We have 2 EMAs, 3 and 4, right? And if that's not enough, price comes further down, there's another liquidity candle here, right? So any one of those 5 areas, price can come down. I'm waiting for price to come, touch any one of those 5, create 30-minute support, close a 30-minute bullish tradable candle, and then look to take buys, right? That's the idea. That's what we're waiting for today. That's what I'm waiting for today. We've got 19 minutes for the 30-minute candle to close. Plenty of time. Again, it's the same. Even if you don't consider any of these, any of the previous reasons why I said we don't want to take sells, just for this reason alone. Look at that weekly SR level. If you take a sell, you're taking a sell just above it, 20 pips, you're going to come and hit it. And you don't want to take a sell just above it. That's what I've been saying all week. I said that yesterday, I said it day before, I said it yesterday, I said it day before. You either want to take sells above, like I did way above here, somewhere here, I took sells yesterday. So it had a 70, 80 pip move down before it came to the weekly SR level. Because once it, if you get a sell up and the sells work, then there is momentum coming from above, right? So that momentum can break the weekly SR level. That's exactly what happened. Look at that. I took sell somewhere here, price came, broke, went right through 125 pips, went through, right? So that's fine. Getting sells deeper up here, that's okay, but not here. This is not where you want to take sells. Even if you took sells here, that's just 40 pips. It's not worth it. If there is a 70 pip move, we can anticipate there is a space to trade, a 70, 80 pip space to take a trade, then that's fine. That's a sell that I'd be willing to take. But not when there is just 40 pips or 50 pips. It's not worth it. Any questions on Anything I have just explained so far, discussed, if you have any questions, drop it in the chat and I'll do my best to answer. Anything related to what we've spoken about in the last 40 minutes. So price has tapped this is important to note, price has tapped this liquidity candle, this one in the London session, right? This is part of the London session. We came, hmm, yeah, it's tapped it in this liquidity candle in the London session. So it does not need to come back down again. It's grab liquidity. So we might have a scenario where price pushes through and later on pulls back to get a trade to go continue up. That's very possible because price does not need to. It can. It doesn't need to. I always say this. If price makes a liquidity grab inside the London session from a liquidity candle, it does not need to do it again in the NY session. It can. It can do it as many times as it needs to, but it doesn't need to because it's already done it. It's grabbed the liquidity and it's pushed up. So this candle, we can probably create some sort of support here and push right through. And if it does that, then I don't get a trade because I'm not going to take buys inside a supply zone, obviously, right? I need price to come down to take buys, to come down, create support to take buys. But it could create support here and push right through. And then later on, probably around the 4 when the 4-hour candle closes, right? Price can retrace because the 4-hour candle can close a bullish 4-hour candle, right? Let's go here. So this candle can close bullish. We have an hour, about 1 hour 45 minutes for the candle to close. So this can close bullish, and the next one can pull back, and we can get the trade to move up. That's possible, right? So that might take time. That's an hour 44 4 minutes from now. That aligns with what's been happening this week. We've not seen a lot of volume come in, hardly any volume come in during the NY Open. Like now, there is no volume coming in. There are no setups forming during the NY Open. The setups have been coming after the NYSE Open, right? It happened on Monday. It happened yesterday. So might be possible that happens today as well. Got to pay attention to these details. Yeah, there's nothing happening right now. Let's look at these 15-minute candles. 30 pips, nothing. This is still forming. 11 pips. See, when did volume come in yesterday? You got to look at the big candles, right? Yeah, that's when volume started to come in. Sorry, just give me a second. Yeah, so that's when volume came in, and that was 16:30 IC markets over time. Yeah, we got quite a bit of time. 15, 15, 45. Got another at least another 4, 5, 15-minute candles. This was when volume came in, right? Look at that, 73 pips. Now volume doesn't, I don't mean that volume is direction. No, it's not. Don't get that wrong. They're two different things. This is a sign of volume coming in. That doesn't mean you just because you see a big bull candle you buy. You trade your plan. That's just a sign of possible volume coming in, right? You can see that. And then price drove up to the liquidity candle. That's also a big candle, 82 pip candle. And then you had your 30-minute candle close, tradable 30-minute 65 pip candle, this one. That's where I took the sells right up there. I think there was a 5-minute, yeah, this is exactly where I took it. This was the 5-minute here. There was a 5-minute supply zone right here, drop base drop. Yeah, yeah, this is where I took it when price came up there, drop base on the 5-minute time frame, and boom, 79 pips. Got out, took partial positions there, about 50-60% of my position there, and then held the rest for I think around the EMA, just under the EMA. No, this 30-minute candle, yeah, here. This was, yeah, around 3018. Yeah, somewhere, yeah, 30, somewhere there. I think I got out. It's about 105 pips, 110 pips in total. So you got to pay attention to when volume could come in, right? So far, nothing. 18 pips. 8 minutes more for the candle to close. But I've explained what I'm looking for very clearly. I've explained what I'm looking for. And I've said why I'm not looking to take sells here. At least here, I'm not looking to take sells because we've got this big barrier right here, just 28 pips away from current price. Um, sells up here, yeah, perfect. I'd love to take sells up here. It's a big move down. You got to find a way to trade at the extremes. Right? This is something that I'd learned long ago from a trader. Once you draw your zones, once you have your map, what you plan to do, try to trade at the extremes. If you're a support resistance trader, that's fine. Uh, whatever system that you use, look for the tops and the bottoms, right? Uh, the valleys or the mountains, whatever you want to call it, right? The highs and the lows, the swing highs, the swing lows, the the high time frame resistance levels and the and the high time frame support levels, high time frame supply, high time frame demand, whatever you want, however you want to you see the chart, and trade at those extremes. Look for setups at those extremes. Those are the areas that will give you low risk, high reward, high probability trades, right? Those are the areas. Mhm. 28 pips. Nothing much. Nothing much is happening. Okay, I'll be back in about 3-4 minutes. There's about 5 minutes for the candle to close, 30-minute candle to close. We're waiting for the candle to close. Again, as I said, I'm not looking to take sells here. Right here, I'm not looking to take. If price had come up here, created 30-minute resistance, it had rejected the London high and closed below, then yes, possibly from the London high to here, that's 80-90 pip drop. That's about a 90 pip drop. That I would be willing to take, but not here. 30-minute candle just about to close. 28 pips, no volume. 30 pips, no volume. Thirty-minute candle closed above, below here. If this wasn't here, this weekly SR level, it's a great trade to take. If this wasn't here, then we're going to drop all the way down here. That's a 70-80 pip move. You can probably look for a pullback to the Asian high, enter, take the trade down here, 80-90 pip move down. But this is the problem. So no, I'm not going to take any sells. I think there'll be a lot of waiting today. A lot of waiting. Yeah, we're pushing back, probably going to tap this and drop. Can take a small sell here, but is it worth it? 56, come down here. Yeah, you can take a tiny sell, 50 pip TP, 30-40 pip TP. Maybe, should I? Should I take a sell here? Let's look at the lower time frame. Yeah, it's possible to take a sell here, to come down here about 40 pips. I'm taking one sell. It's um, it's going to be short-lived. The sells are going to be short-lived because we could drop up here. It's about 36, 40 pips. Let's see if we get up higher, it'll be better. But because we've created 30-minute resistance close below the Asian high, you should be dropping here. It's about 40, 50 pips. It's not worth it, but it's low risk. Stop loss here. 20, 25, 28 pip stop loss. So nothing major. Nothing major. Nothing major. Very wide spreads. Wow. Very wide spreads. Look at that. That's not normal for IC markets. 33, 30, 036, 780, 3, 6. So my stop loss is about 20 pips, 20, 25 pips, right? And I'm anticipating price to push down about 50 pips. Stop loss is just above there. This high is 3036. Let's put a red line there. 3036. $25. Yeah, here we come. 24. Yeah, 24. TP, first TP around 40 pips, and the other one further. 3024, 3024, 30, maybe 22. Maybe 3023. It's going to be short-lived. Stops are about 20, 22, 23 pips. TP is about here, that's about 50 pips, and this is about 40 pips. Here it's about 40, yeah, 38, 39, and 50. And stop loss is 23. It still has a almost a 2 RR, about 2 RR or more trade. And I explained why. I said it is not a great trade, but it is with low volume. That's possibly what we're going to get right now with the NY Open, because we have a clear rejection. We have 30-minute resistance formed in the liquidity candle, and then that's not a tradable candle, but we form 30-minute resistance here. But this one is a tradable candle, right? This is a tradable candle. So once it closes, you got to wait for the pullback. And I said price will react to this. It went a little higher, so that's why I entered there. And we are coming down to 3024. And then possibly towards 3023. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to further find a way to manage risk, right? As a trader, that's your responsibility. You take a trade, you don't just leave it alone. You got to find a way to manage risk to reduce. Even if you've taken a 0.5% risk, how can you lose less than 0.5%? That's how you need to think. So 29.31. Okay, so if a 15-minute candle closes above this before hitting 3036, 3030.36, then I'm going to close. If a 15-minute candle closes above this. Let's change the color there to this. It's a 30 pip candle. So if a 15-minute candle closes just above 3029.31, maybe here or here, before hitting the high, before hitting the 30-minute candle high, if it closes above here, above this 3029, roughly 3029, if you close above 3029, a 15-minute candle closes above there, then it's very likely that the next one is going to break the high. So let me show you that again. If a 15-minute candle closes here, it's very likely above this 3029, okay, right here. Then it's very likely for the next candle to break the high and hit my TP. I hit my stop loss. My stop loss is at 30.36. So when there is a chance of that happening, why lose? When you know that price can going to hit your stop loss, why let it hit your stop loss? Take out 60-70% take out. That's got to be always thinking like that, always. But this is not the trade for the session. This is just a trade here because that I've taken because we're waiting and there is no volume. We've not seen any volume the last 2 days, but price is inching down, should be inching down to grab liquidity to head up or to create 30-minute support before it heads up. So that's the reason I've taken these trades, because we formed 30-minute resistance. The 30-minute candle closed below the Asian high, and we tapped it, the Asian high, and we tapped that level. If you look at the 1-minute time frame and the 5-minute, you can see we tapped it and we're trying to push down. If the 5-minute candle closes here around 3026, we should drop another 20 pips down. I don't like taking these trades, to be honest. This is just a nothing trade. This is a nothing trade. It just doesn't. It has a tight stop loss though, 20 pip stop loss, and about a 40-50 pip TP. But I don't like those. I like those bigger moves where you get a 80, 90, 100 pip move. Those are the moves that I want to take, not 40-50 pip moves. Hey, 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 hey. We're coming up. Coming up. There's no top wick here on the 1 minute, so we did need to come up. Let's see. Might add another position here, just here. That has an even tighter stop loss, 10 pip stop loss. But the spreads are really high. There's no idea what's happening. Okay, so if we break, I'm closing everything. Did the 50-minute candle close above? No, it closed below. It closed below 3029, so I'm keeping it. The 15-minute candle, but now if you break, then I'm closing everything. Close everything as soon as we break. Seems like we're going to break. Are we? So the 15-minute candle closed just under 3029 or 3029.3. If it had closed at 3029 or just above 3029, I would have closed the positions, but we closed under. And there is no top wick on that candle. So there's a 50% chance of price pushing up, a 50% chance of price going down. So I'm waiting. The only reason I took this trade is because we have formed 30-minute resistance in pre-NY. 30-minute tradable candle closed below the Asian high. Anticipates in price to come down to around 3024 or 3023. If we get here, that's about a 60 pip drop. Yeah, 50, 60 pip drop, not bad. For a 10 pip stop loss. But we need to push down. Doesn't seem like we're pushing down yet. We're still trying to push back up. This is because there is no volume. It's very obvious. When you have no volume, this is what happens. 36 pips. There's no volume yet. You got to wait for that candle that is borderline 45 pips or more. That's when you start to see a volume, possible volume coming. There's no guarantee of volume coming in, but there is a potential that volume could come in. Still nothing. We're trying to push back up. Tomorrow is Thursday, right? Yeah. I think tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, we're going to have better setups, possibly cleaner setups, Thursday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was kind of anticipating this because there's no news at all and it's the last week of the month. So towards the end of the week, you might get a cleaner. You'll have a bit more volume, not a lot of volume, but a little bit more. And the moment you have a little more volume, then you have cleaner structure, right? What I mean by cleaner structure is you'll have clean space. So if you take in a sell, you very likely have a clean bull candle going up so that you can take a sell to come down. Or if you're trying to take a buy, you'll have a clean back candle coming down on the left that you can take a buy to go up. More clean space to the left. You're trying to push down. What does a 5-minute look like? Nothing much, no top wick again. But we've broken the low. It needs to close, I said, 3026. So a 5-minute candle closes at 3026, then we're coming down to 3023. If you get this, that's a 60 plus 60 pip move with a 10 pip stop loss. It's not bad. It's almost like a scalping trade. 10 pip stop loss on gold, but we have to come down. We have to close at 3026 or below. 5-minute candle needs to close 3026 or below. Why 3026 or below? Why? Because that's where support is on the lower time frame. You can see the 5-minute candles couldn't close below 3026. It tried here, failed, pushed up, came back, tried again, failed, pushed back, came back, tried again, failed, pushed back up, came back here, pushed back up. So if it does it, so it's done it what? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So the 5th time, if it comes and closes at 3026, then it's very likely that the next candle is going to break the low and continue down, right? But right now, nothing. We don't have anything right now. This candle has no top fix. Very likely price is going to push back up. Got 7.5 minutes for the 15-minute candle to close. Let's see where this candle closes. Ideally, I'd like to see it close back below the Asian high, close below 3027. If the 15-minute candle closes back again below 3027, there is a chance, not a great chance, but there is a little chance there is that the next one might break the low and continue down here towards this low. But the 15-minute candle needs to close below 3027, below the Asian low for that. It's a very tight space this trade is in. I mean, it's as I said, it's a nothing trade. It just has very little kind of value. It's more educational. This trade is a lot more educational than it is uh, profitable or unprofitable. Because if you get stopped out on trade like this, you lose what, 20 pips at the most, 20, 25 pips. And then if you make a trade, if it wins, you make about 50 pips. 4 minutes more for the candle to close. It's 35 pips. It's nothing. There is no volume. See where this candle is going to close. Yeah, we're pushing down, pushing down. 15-minute candle seems like it's pushing down. Let's see, it has to close. We got some time before it closes. Just over 2 minutes. Anything can happen in 2 minutes. Price can push all the way back up in 2 minutes, or could close below, back below the Asian high. That's what we would like to see happen. We would like to see price close back below the Asian high, because this one closed below, this one closed above, no top wick, 50% chance of price pushing up or 50% chance of price pushing down. So if the next one closes, if this candle closes below 3027, which is the Asian high, then price is kind of doing what we visualized, right, that it would do. And then hopefully the next one can break the low and continue down to 3024. So partial TPs at 3024, 3023, and then final TP around 3020 if we get there. I don't think we're going to get there, but let's see if we get there. Because for price to get here, that means all of these liquidity levels are not enough for price to push up, right? This wasn't, the liquidity candle isn't enough, the weekly SR level isn't enough, the EMAs aren't enough. If they aren't enough, then that's the only reason price will break this low and push down to this liquidity candle. So that is why that is kind of an extended TP. You leave it there. Once price gets here, bring your stops to break even and let it run. If it runs, you get about 100 pips, almost about 94, 95 pips with a 10 pip stop loss on gold. That's a great day any day. Okay, 15-minute candle closed below. Nice. That's what we wanted to see. Then we said if it closes below, price will push back up. What I'm going to do is take another sell right here. Yeah, 3025. took another sell right there at the Asian high, just about a pip below. We can get out, we can hold it for 20 pips, probably even 30 pips. Yeah, we should be coming down now. We should break this low. The 5-minute candle, yeah, once it closes here, we're good. We're coming down. Like I said, if you want to see a 5-minute candle close at 3026 or below, 3026 or below. Why is this not? Okay, that's better. Yeah. Yeah, coming down. Should tap 3025 and 3024. Should tap it pretty easily. Here we go. Yep, that's 3024 tapped. Should tap 3024. We tap 3025. Should tap 3024. That nothing trade turned out to be a decent trade. We, at least, let's see, it has to come and tap 3024. That is the area. If it doesn't and we push back up again, then it's still, it's not a great trade then. If you want to see it push down. Yeah, I want to see that 5-minute candle close. There's still almost 2 minutes for the 5-minute candle to close. It needs to close below 3026 to continue towards 3023. If it doesn't, then we're going to push all the way back again. Then it's a rejection. If it doesn't close below, it's not a continuation. Price, the next candle is not going to continue. We're going to push back because we've tapped the liquidity candle. We're going to push back. So we're going to pull back. So it needs to close below 3026 to continue down. It's about a minute more for the candle to close. Like I said, this trade was, I really didn't care too much about this trade because the risk was very tight and this was more educational. Kind of I talked through everything that I did, why I took the trade even though I was not looking for sells, but why I decided against, because we have very little volume, right? You see Monday very little volume NY open, Tuesday little volume NY open, so Wednesday also very likely there'll be very little volume during the NY open. Volume may come in later on after NYSE, and then I'm not there at the streams during NYSE because I end the stream around NYSE, right? And that's about 20 minutes from now. I'll be ending the stream in about 15-20 minutes. Yeah, 20 minutes. So that's why reason I took a trade, because I do like to take trades live so that whoever is watching can take those trades with me and make some gains while you learn the way I trade, right? If the way I trade interests you, then you can learn the way I trade and you can also make some money while you're doing it, right? You can hopefully be profitable. But you got to do everything that I do the way I do it. When I manage risk, you have to manage risk, right? I don't take trades. I never take trades and not manage risk. I always take a trade, even in this trade. Even though there was a 20 pip stop loss, I found a way, I was thinking of a way, how can I reduce that to 10 pips, right? How can I, instead of taking a 22 pip or 23 pip loss, how can I lose 10 or 12 pips? How can I cut that by half? You got to always think that way. 5-minute candle has closed below 3026. That's a good sign. We should be pushing down. We should push through. Yeah, we should push through to 3023. As I said, these are partial TP levels. 3024, 3023 are partial TP levels, and final TP, if we get there, is 3020. That's a 100 pip move. If we get there, then that's about 100 pip, 95, 100 pip move, which is great because I wasn't expecting to take sells here, but I explained why I took the sells. Uh, Listen to this a few times why the sells were taken, even though it was a very tight area. You've got to wait for price to come deep in, pull back, enter at around these areas 3029, 3029.7 or 3029. There we go. We should come down. Broken the low, we should come down. Spreads are quite high though, 1.4, 1.5, 2 pips. Wow, high spreads, quite high spreads. Pushing back, we came and we missed this by 5 points. Pushing back 16 pips up. Pushing back up just shows that there's very little volume. How much was this candle? 35, 33. Yeah, still no volume. Spreads get high because I'm trading. I have a raw spread account on IC markets. So the spreads get high when there is a lack of liquidity, right? That's the reason, because it's raw spread. So it's variable spread, right? So they go up and down when there's a lot of volume. So like for example, on a week where there's a lot of volume, you'll have spreads that are like 0.5 pips, like 5 points on gold, 6 points on gold on IC markets. But on a week like this, it's a low volume week, like we discussed. The weekly candle, look at that, just 300 pips. This is the third day of the week, and about 300 and what, 300 and under 340 pips, yeah, about 330 pips. And that's usually a single daily candle, 330, 350, 400 pips is a single daily candle on gold. Let's see if we can push down and tap 3024. Is the 15-minute candle going to close? Yeah, the 15-minute candle needs to close below this support here, below this lower time frame support. It needs to close at it. So basically, again, below 3026. Coming down, yeah, coming down. Once we tap that, we should head to 3023. Ah, we tapped it. We tapped it, but the spreads are wide. Oh, we tapped it. See, 3023.96. On any other day, the TP would have hit, but today it didn't because the spreads are very wide. It's okay. What's the 15-minute candle looking like? Still 35 pips, still no volume. Yeah, I would consider that a win because we tapped 3024. We actually went below. We went to 3023.95. So we did tap it. It's just that it didn't activate because of the spreads. There's nothing much you can do about that. So we did tap 3024. So that was consider that a winning trade. Yeah, 40 pips and about a 22 pip, 23 pip stop loss, 40 pips. Just waiting for the 15-minute candle to close, then I'll decide what to do. Because if the 15-minute candle closes below 3026, just like I said when we spoke about the 5-minute time frame, so if the 15-minute candle closes at 3026 or just under it, we're good to continue further. We're good to continue further, but it needs to close at it or under it. If it closes above, then that's a rejection and we're pushing up, because then the 5-minute candle is going to be you'll have a strong bull candle close and the next one is going to very likely push up. So then you might as well close your trades. But if it closes at it or under it, then we should be good to continue down. A minute. Yeah, I'm going to be here for another maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, under 10 minutes. I'll call it I'm going to end the stream. So the idea is what I shared. The setup for the session is what I shared early on, are buys, not sells, buys. Let me repeat again, the idea for the session, the trade idea for the session, are buys, not sells. This trade I took, saw why I took it. Okay, so we've closed under, let's look at the 5-minute. There's no top wick. Yeah, I'm going to leave it. There's no top wick. We could push down. It's a 50% chance. Price could push up, price could push down. So let's keep the trade because we closed under the 15-minute candle closed, yeah, under 3026. So let's leave it. Price did tap our TP level 3024, but it didn't get activated because of spreads. That's fine. I'm going to leave it. Let's see if price continues down. Again, if it comes back up, right? Now, how to manage risk is the exact same. If you come back up, and if a 15-minute, let me just extend this a little bit so it's clear, right? If a 15-minute candle closes above the Asian high again, close the trade. There's no point because we've already made the move, we've tapped the TP. If you close above, that means we're heading higher, right? So it makes no sense to hold trade. So this is the level. Let me bring this down here now. Yeah, 3027. So 3027, what's this high? 17. Yeah, we're coming down. Let's see. So if a 15, like I said, if a 15-minute candle closes above 3027.17, that's it. There is no need to hold these trades because that means we're closing above the Asian high, and we're very likely going to break the high and continue, right? And that also means that we're coming here for the that's first, second, and drop third time. We're coming here for the third time. When we come here for the third time, this liquidity candle is not going to hold, right? It's very likely. There's a 95% chance that this liquidity candle is going to break, right? So you don't want to be holding sells, right? So that is why it makes sense. If a 15-minute candle closes above 3027, just close the trades. There's no volume. That's the reason why price is not moving to the TP levels quickly, because or towards your stop loss, because there's literally no volume. There's literally no volume. 35 pips, uh, 35 pips, 35 pips, 27 pips. So there's no volume. You want to see a 45 pip candle or more, right? 15-minute candle that's 45 pips or more. That's when you know that there's possible volume coming in, and we can start to look to take trades. Yeah, here we come. Gonna should tap the TP now. Should break. What is this low? Yeah, there we go. We're struggling with volume. There we go. Broke finally. Finally, we're heading towards 3023. Let's see if we can get a tap there. Let's see if we can tap 3023. Yeah, we did. Perfect. That's it. Stop loss to break even, and now let it run. Okay, excellent, excellent. So now stops at break even, risk-free trade. I'm holding for 3020. If we get there, then that's almost a 100 pip trade. With a on this trade it was a 10 pip stop loss, but now it stops at break even. Right. So that was the trade that I took for the NY Open. Last couple of days there was no trades at the NY Open because there was no setups formed, but here we had a setup. And if you want to see why I took, go listen, go rewind and listen. I explained clearly why I took it, even though I didn't like to take sells because of low volume, but I did take sells up here. So there was a 60 pip drop to this 3023, right? I was not willing to take sells down here when there was a 20 pip drop to it, obviously not. But when when price moved up, that's a 60 pip move down to 3023. That's okay. And now you can see that we are reacting to 3023. Now, hopefully we had enough momentum to break and come further down in this to this low. If we break this low, we're coming down to this liquidity candle. But it doesn't matter, stops at break even. I'm going to let this trade run. If it goes back, it's comes back here, then maybe I'll close it. If we come back, if we create a 15-minute strong bull candle from this liquidity candle, then I'll close my trade, right? So that'll be the end of the stream. So I've given the again, for maybe the fifth or sixth time, the idea for the session, or the trade idea, the trade setup for the session are buys, not sells. These sells were taken. I explained why I took them, right? I'm not going to get into that again. But the idea for the session are buys, right? And I've explained why it's buys, because we're creating higher highs and higher lows. Price, the EMAs have crossed, price is above the EMAs. We've tapped this area 3 times already. Two times already. We've come deep into it. The third time when it comes, we're going to go through it, right? And that's going to be a move that will take price up here to 3041 or 3042, right? That's the move that you want to take, 3042. Sorry, 42. But yeah, that's going to be a final TP area, right? Now, for that to happen, you got to wait for 30-minute support to form at one of these liquidity areas. 30-minute support, but it's got to be a tradable 30-minute bull candle, right? If it's a doji, a bullish doji, that's fine. That'll confirm that support has formed, but you can't trade off that candle. You got to wait for a 30-minute tradable bull candle to close, and then wait for the pullback and take the trade. If you trade the way I do, I drop down to the 50-minute time frame, I draw my fib, and then I take my entry, right? Okay, so that's it. Yeah, we are reacting to this. Let's see, you look at the low time frame. Yeah, we are pushing up. We are reacting to it as expected. Yeah, like I said, if I have a 15-minute candle close up here, if this flips bullish, this candle flips bullish, then I'm closing my trade. There is no point holding it. There's no reason to hold it. But we got the TP that we wanted, which was 3023. That was the TP that we wanted. This is just an extended TP, right? The TP that we wanted was 3023, and price came there, dropped about 50, 60 pips, right? So, but this is an extended TP, or close to about 100 pips if we get there, okay? Let's see, where is the 5-minute candle? It's still... Yeah, you want to see a 15-minute candle close below 3023 for price to continue low. Okay, very simple. Whenever you have big areas like this, important areas, ideally a 30-minute candle to close below this, but 30 minutes will close. Yeah, 30-minute candle. If the 30-minute candle is going to close in 6 minutes. So if the 30-minute candle closes below 3023, then we're coming further down. If it doesn't, then we're likely to pull back up, right? But my entry is all the way up there, so I'm going to leave it unless we have a 15-minute candle come up and close here, very strong bull candle, then I'll close the trade. Okay, so I've explained the trade setup for the day. Look for that. It's probably going to happen later on, probably in about 30 minutes to an hour. So I'm going to leave now. I'll come back to the chart in about 30 minutes, 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and take a look at the chart, because we're going to probably get that trade after the 4-hour candle closes. It is going to be after the 4-hour candle closes. So you're going to have to wait for about 35 minutes for the 4-hour candle to close, and that's when we're likely going to get a buy trade after NYSE open, like probably between, now it's 9:30, almost 9:30 a.m. EST. So between 9:30 a.m. EST and 11:30 a.m. EST, that's probably when you're going to get your buys in the next 2 hours. Okay. All right. So I'll be back here tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. We will do our prep work, draw our zones, and then see if we have a trade setup that we could take for the first couple of hours, during the first couple of hours of the NY session. All right. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow.